Hey folks, welcome back to Dizzy, Prince of the Yolkfolk. Today's show is filmed before my tranquilizers wear off. I did a bit of off-screening since we were last together. Nothing important, just broke into the castle again. You may remember how, the last time we were here, our progress was impeded by the Wall of Thorns. You may also remember, the last time we were here, we didn't have a magical, unbreakable scythe. So let's use it. And we are now ready to proceed. This screen is called the Tower Ballroom. It's not actually a ballroom, it's just a reference to the Blackpool Tower in Cesspool, England. Here we find a brass bugle. So now it's story time. The Blackpool Tower has a huge, beautiful Wurlitzer organ, and my granddad used to play it a lot. He was an amazing musician, really was. We have a potion, don't need that just yet. Or a tall, if memory serves. Another little story, I once placed second in a sequence dancing contest in the Blackpool Tower. Me and CPC sister 1, I think it is, did the cha-cha, and probably because we were 9 and 7 and had the cute vote going for us, placed second. Not too shabby. So this room has a clone Dizzy. He's supposed to be the evil Dizzy from the title screen there, and as you can see, he's doing the opposite to what we're doing. How confusing! Probably doesn't mean anything, so let's grab this spanner. As you reach for the spanner, there a loud click as one of our verbs goes missing, or, more accurately, as the evil Dizzy pushes the button as we reach for the spanner, and we drop into the water and die. Let's not do that again. To the right, we drop off the key in our inventory. We'll use it later, of course, but for the time being, there's a puzzle that requires our attention. We can just get out the way of that bat. If we go across the top landing, you can now see that the Dizzy clone is at the bottom. We can't drown him, because that would make him pick up the spanner, and that would make the game uncompletable. Plus, the button won't go down, no matter how much we push it. Seriously. They put in an extra bit of text just to say that. The programmers think of everything, and I absolutely love it when I find stuff like that. Continuing to the left, we have to go across the first landing, or specifically the roof of the first landing, and we find ourselves a pair of tweezers, which is a word I've never felt comfortable around. Possibly because I don't like the idea of a tool whose only function is ripping things out of various body parts. And I suppose the bat destroying our health is better than falling in the pond and having to do that twitchy jump sequence again. Anyhow, with the pulling tool of pain and agony in our possession, we can now continue on to the left. We'll be introducing you to a character I have thus far been ignoring, if I can time it rightly and hit the ferry. There we go. So yes, we're going to be meeting a cowardly lion. And if I'm honest, it wouldn't surprise me if the guy's name was Parsley or something like that. But, yeah, do you remember that one story about the mouse pulling a thorn out of a lion's paw? And, you know, it's a story that they use to try and get kids to befriend bullies in the hopes that the incessant torment will finally come to an end, even though it never does, because that's not how bullies work. Yeah, we're going to recreate that. Dizzy, meet lion with thorn in paw. Lion with thorn in paw. Meet the claw. And with that, we are one step closer to happiness. I'm going to grab that thorn. there is one last thing to do before we continue onwards, and that's to go over to the left. And you probably recall that we met a courtier, this guy. One gave us a magic carpet. Yeah, him. We have something that belongs to him. Why, it's the brass bugle, of course. And no, we weren't told about it. We were supposed to work that out by looking at the game's cover art. So, here it is. This grants us a joke book. We don't need it just yet, but it's worth coming over to solve the puzzle while we're on this side of the lake in any case. While we're here, the magic carpet is actually a pretty interesting item. You see here, it's got an exclamation point after it. It is the only item in the game to do this. Whereas, all the items have exclamation points after them in the other versions of the game. Yeah, it's nothing important, mind. It's just a beta relic of the sort that I find most amusing. But we're done for now. So until next time, goodbye.